Welcome to Module 2.2 in how to communicate that you are the best candidate. Great. So Module 2 is about your skills. Specifically, we talk about trying to present yourself as a job hero. And we're going to look at now key ideas to consider. What are the things that you need to think about when you're talking about the skills that you offer the company? Okay, so we're on part 2 of the module 2. So we look at key ideas to consider. In part 3, we look at how to write your key messages for your skills. And in part 4, we'll actually look at the ideas, how to answer some of the key questions, the most common questions about skills. So the key ideas, there are actually 6 key ideas we're going to cover. First one is a reminder. It's about them and not you. Then actually we're going to have some reflections on some of the key questions before we continue. Then we're going to look at job hero is the objective. And then we're going to look at winning needs empathy. Okay, something we've touched on already. Now, the fourth idea is the ideal you. So this is you. How can you be the best possible version of yourself in a way in the interview? An honest version, of course. And then part 5 and part 6 are 2 questions. So do you know our reality? And can I manage you? Great. So it's about them, not you. So let's remember this, okay? The first, the biggest and the most important idea in the whole of the interview process is that the interview, it's about them. It's not about you. It's about them solving their problems, okay? It's not about you presenting yourself, okay? It's about solving their problems. And in the interview, remember that you need to win the interview. It's not enough to play it safe and just give solid answers. You need to win the interview, convince them that you are the best option. And that means not hiding with your answers, trying to be something that doesn't make a mistake. It means being brave, okay? And trying to present yourself in a way that really connects to them. And to be brave, to do that, you need the best possible answers. And that means seeing the job from their point of view. The best possible answers are from their point of view. Only they know what the best possible answers are. Great. So let's go on to some reflections on the key questions, okay? So let's think about some questions. I want to take a few seconds each time to think about the main idea I'm going to ask you and maybe some adjectives. And especially if you do this again, you might want to write down some notes for the questions, okay? So the first question is, what is your greatest strength? Just think about that for a minute. What is your greatest strength, okay? Why that is. What could you say about your greatest strength? Question 2. What is your biggest weakness? What would you say is your biggest weakness? What can you say about this weakness of yours? Do you feel comfortable giving them this weakness? Okay. The third question is, can you describe the ideal candidate that could apply for this job? What would the ideal candidate be like? They write to this realistically, the ideal candidate that could apply for this job. Who would that be? What would they be like? Now, question 4. Think about your potential new boss, this person who's possibly about to interview you. How is their success measured? Okay. How do they know they've done well? What are they under pressure for? What are they being told to do and achieve? And when they wake up, that's what they're working towards. And what do they worry about? What is it? And they're at their desk. What are they thinking about? Examples. There can be many, many different examples. But it can be profit, growth, complaints, a number of something, costs, staff turnover, quality, could be speed of something, disaster aversion if you're a lawyer or a pilot or something, internal company status of the individual. So what's going through their mind? What are they thinking about? And in fact, this question is so important. Let's go a few seconds deeper. Who is the boss of the boss? So you have a boss above you, but so do they. And what do they want? What does this boss of boss want? And what are their meetings? And their means your potential boss and their boss. They have meetings. What do they talk about in those meetings? What are they trying to resolve and improve? What are they pushing your potential boss to achieve or to create or to avoid or to improve or to change or to make more efficient? What's happening there? Okay? There's a dynamic well above you. What's happening? Okay? So, before we consider your answers to those questions, let's take a step back and take a good look at some more concepts, okay? So let's go back to the key idea list. A very solid one, presented this before, but the job hero is the objective. So, you arrive at the interview process, you've shown them your skills fit, they know you can do the job, they're pretty sure about that, that's why they're interviewing you. They're focusing on your culture fit there. They're trying to say, well, this is what we really want to check. What is the culture fit? You instead are focusing your energy on trying to show that you are a potential job hero. That's where your energy is, okay? And a job hero is someone who makes a positive impact on the people around them, the people they work with, and that includes your manager, okay? So remember, they have your CV, they know your skills already, okay? And the culture fit I've written at the bottom, but we'll deal with more of that in module 3, okay? Great, so job hero is the objective for you. Third idea is this: winning needs empathy. What is empathy? Empathy is the ability to feel, or to understand at least, what another person is feeling. Okay, to understand their situation. And to win, you need this. This is really connected to the key idea number 1. It's about them, not you. Okay? So, please remember this. In this interview process that you are in, do you need to not lose or do you need to win? How competitive is the interview process? So either you are a brain surgeon with a unique skill and they desperately need you, you just have to appear human, or you're one of many, many people applying for the same job. You need to win, okay? You can't hide, you have to be brave, okay? So unless you have a very unique skill or experience or qualification, etc., then you will have competition. This means that the job is not for you to lose, but for you to win. Okay? So remember this. Answers that are safe, common, taken from Google, etc., okay? They are defensive. They are about not losing. They are about playing it safe, okay? You need to do some of the work here and really enter into the mind of the line manager. So saying that you're a fast learner, good with people, hard worker, flexible, etc., everyone has these skills nowadays, okay? I know I've told you this before, but it's really important to remember. In fact, are you even insulting their team? That you will be special if you have these skills, okay? Okay. And do these skills even make you stand out as a job candidate? Now, would they really make you a fantastic candidate? Are these skills here going to mean that your line manager is relieved? Oh, great. I've got a person on my new team. He's a fast learner. Oh, the new person, she's good with people. Is that really going to make a difference to the line manager and their problems? So, remember this. Every job opportunity exists because a problem or problems need solving. That's why they want someone to come. There are some problems that have to be resolved, and they don't want to create more problems. Okay, so that's the back of their mind. They don't want to solve that problem only to create other problems. Okay, maybe within the team dynamics, etc. And now, talking about the empathy. If you can work out what problem the line manager is trying to solve by creating this job and interviewing for this job, giving their time to find someone, then you are ahead of the pack. Okay, you are automatically ahead of the pack. Okay. Second thing to consider, it's about empathy with the manager here. So there's two approaches for many things, okay, when you make a decision. And you can talk about the upside of something, which is, what is the best case scenario if I act like this? What can I win here? There's also another way. You can say, what's the downside of this decision? What is the risk? What can I lose here? And in the job interview process and the job itself, you need to understand what is the manager thinking about in terms of the job, in terms of upside and downside to hiring you or hiring anyone. Okay, so some managers and some professions in general are risk averse. They see the possible downsides. They worry about mistakes that must be avoided. Think about areas like accounting, corporate law, being a pilot, okay? And if you think about what they're trying to achieve, okay, they have a personal stake as well. And they want to tick all the right boxes. The candidate should have everything that they want, they're looking for. They don't want to take many risks. They want validation, external validation as well. Other people, other managers are driven by the upsides, by the potential opportunity. And they want to take risks. They're less precise about the candidate. They're happy to maybe not get the perfect on paper candidate. And they're happy to make mistakes. And the reason is because they could win big. Think of sales and think of startup environments. There's two examples when the manager is focused on the upside. Understanding the type of manager and the person and the profession you're in is going to really help you in terms of describing your impact in the company and doing your job. Great. Okay. So now let's have a look at the ideal you. Okay. This is a really big question here. Now let's go back to the initial questions. Let's begin by go back to the initial questions and think about this. When you described the ideal candidate, how close were you to how you described your greatest strength? So you have your ideal candidate description and your greatest strength description. How close are they? Some of the way close? Completely the same? If they're not, why are the two answers different? Why isn't your greatest strength you describing yourself as the ideal candidate? Think about that. Surely they should be the same. And then go one step further. How much of the profile of this ideal candidate and what part of your greatest strength answer is going to help the pressure your potential line manager is under. They have all that pressure we spoke about, the boss of their boss, what's worrying them. And you've said, oh, the ideal candidate brings this, my greatest strength is this. Well, how much of that is going to help this line manager? Are they going to hear your answer and think, oh, I need you on my team. You are going to make my life better. Okay? Does that change what you think the ideal candidate would be? And that means change what you think you should say is your greatest strength? In a competitive interview process, you need to be a job hero. And to be a job hero, you need to either, as well as helping the team in general, help with your potential line manager's KPIs, that's their key performance indicators, or help with their problems. Okay? The way you present yourself and with your objective to be a job hero is to do this. Present yourself as a helping with their problems. Whoa, Adam, but before we look at the template for what is your greatest strength, you have a problem. Okay? And your problem is this. But describing myself as the ideal candidate sounds fake. It sounds like a lie. Okay? Well, I'm not telling you to lie. But if we look at your skills and your attitude towards the job, you will be your best you. When you arrive at the company on the first day, you will choose to be the best you can be. You will choose to be ideal. Okay? So you have in your mind what someone would do if they're the ideal candidate, and you are going to try to be that ideal candidate on your first day. And in fact, the manager even hopes for this. And the manager is thinking, well, what is key to the manager rather is, what is your version of ideal? So you've described someone with your greatest strength. What you've chosen to describe yourself tells me a lot about the way you think what's going to be of value in the work, which tells me a lot about what you think we do here. Okay? This goes on to the next point here. Do you know our reality? So it's your choice of adjectives in describing your greatest value to the job, to the team, to the manager, to the company, which communicates how well you know their reality. Okay? So think about a salesperson. The salesperson could say in the interview, well, my greatest strength is my ability to listen and to show the client how great a product is. That's one greatest strength. Sounds fantastic. But what if that same salesperson candidate said, my greatest strength is my ability to pick up the phone right after someone saying no? The sales manager realizes that is a great strength, because that is a big problem. Yeah, everyone can sell, etc. But it's when you keep making the phone calls, you keep making the meetings, you keep going forward, even though someone's saying no to you. Okay? So do you know our reality? Great. And then that goes on to the last element here, the last key idea in your skills in the job. Talking about the skills in your job. Can I manage you? So this is a big question. It's a culture fit question. But this is important about the skills. Because the manager is thinking, well, I can see that you have the skills to do the job. I can see even that you've got great strengths maybe in the job. I like it. but will you use your skills my way? Will you be able to work to our goals? How much will I need to battle you, to fight you, for you to do what I want? How much are you already on our wavelength? Can I manage you to work my way? This is going to touch on a lot in the culture fits. The things are connected, obviously, okay? But these are the key questions to think about. How to be a job hero, thinking about the empathy of the situation, thinking about the problems the manager faces, and how you, presenting yourself as an ideal candidate, can solve their problems. Okay. Thank you for coming, and I'll see you in the next video.